Hello listeners, this video is on Gentle Falls the Bakula by Sudha Murty. This is a classic novel. Sudha Murty is an Indian educator, author and philanthropist. She is a chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. She is awarded Padma Shri in the year 2006 and in the year 2003 she was awarded the Padma Bhushan. Her notable works include How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, Mahashweta, Dollar Bahu. In the title, there is a word Bakula. Bakula means a fragment flower. This novel is about a story of Srikanth and Srimathi. They belong to two hostile communities. Srikanth is an intelligent boy and smart. Srimathi is also smart. They slowly get to know each other and they fall in love. The novel put forth the old stereotypes of male dominance and the ignorant attitude towards females. This novel is about marriage and how marriage goes sour after years and months. It also expresses the suppressed aspiration for a long period and demonstrates the silent support and the non-acknowledgement. Let us see the summary of the novel. Srimathi and Srikanth, they are neighbors and their families do not know each other well. There is a tree of Bakula. As I earlier said, it is a fragment flower that separate the two homes. That is, on either side of the tree, houses of Srimathi and Srikanth is located. Both Srimathi and Srikanth are classmates. Both Srimathi and Srikanth are ambitious. They wanted to become school topper. Srikanth works hard and he aspires to be the school topper. But it is Srimathi who tops the score and Srikanth ends up second. I forgot to mention the village they are in. The village name is Hubli. Hubli is a trivial village. Trivial means less importance is given to this village. Both Srimathi and Srikanth, they are the real competitors in school and later they turn up into a teenage romance. Both the families had rivalry for many years, but they liked each other and their love started to bloom like the Bakula flowers on the Bakula tree that stands in between Srikanth and Srimathi's bedroom. Beside their homes, in between, the tree is located, as I mentioned. Soon as they finish their schooling, Srimathi decides to study history and literature at a local college, and Srikanth ends up moving to IIT Bombay to pursue an engineering degree. As love blossoms between the two when they were studying their higher secondary, the two lovers meet when Srikanth visits Hubli. Hubli is a village located in Karnataka. The Bakula tree in between their homes symbolizes that the fragrance of their love will never go away. They both believed that the beauty of their love will never fade to shadows. Thereby, Srimathi, she leaves her aspiration and her academic talents at home, while Srikanth focuses on his career entirely. He does not acknowledge whatever Srimathi has done to him. Srimathi becomes tourist guide to visiting professors and Sudha Murty has given a graphic description of Ahole, Badami and Patalakal. While reading the novel, any reader would be encouraged to visit these places. Srimathi, as she works as a tourist guide, she gets an offer to become a research scholar. It is an offer for her research scholarship from a foreign visiting professor named Mike Collins. But Srimathi avoids to pursue her research course just to marry Srikanth. And this is the first sacrifice that she makes for her beloved. When we look at the house of Srimathi, she is the one who wants to get married to Srikanth, but her mother Kamala did not encourage her daughter to pursue her love. Also, she warns her that she will never be loved by Srikanth's mother and sister and would never get appreciated by her mother-in-law. Meanwhile, Srikanth got a job offer in Bombay. Srikanth accepts his job offer, whereas Srimathi had declined her research offer in America. And this thought of patriarchy highlights in this novel. Women were denied to pursue their wishes, and that sustains through ages. The reason for Srimathi's sacrifice is to get married to Srikanth. She withdraws her passion for history. Srikanth wants to get married to a woman whom his mother suggests him. Whereas Srimathi makes it clear that she wants to marry Srikanth. She wants to gain his love, affection, and companionship. The two get married. Srimathi finds that she has got a taunting mother in law, and as both the families had rivalry for many years, Srikanth's mother takes it as a chance to taunt her enemy. Now Srimati and Srikanth they move to Bombay. Srimati also sends some amount of money for her mother-in-law. Srimati also frequently reminds that her mother-in-laws have no affection on her. Her mother-in-law's name is Gangaka. Meanwhile, Srikanth could not keep his love marriage alive because he is also exhausted by his corporate job. Srimati, who stays away from her village, feels that Bombay is a crowded city and she feels dreadful and lonely. Srimati could not accept and imagine how her subtle, beautiful, and modest life in Hubli would change so soon as loneliness and dark days in Bombay. The relationship between Srikanth and Srimati deteriorates as days pass and they begin to fight and argue for anything that happened in their life. Srimati is now realizing that she has to take up her studies as she is tired of her dreadful life in Bombay. Now she decides to take up her first love, that is her passion for history and literature. But her mother-in-law taunts her, saying that she had borrowed a huge sum of money from an uncle, and that person has lended some amount of money in a hope of making Srikanth his son-in-law. As Srikanth has married to Srimati, he had to pay back the loans to that person. Srikanth's sister intends to fight with Srimati for even a single issue. While this is all going on, Srimati gives up her idea of higher studies and prefers to work in some other department and not in history department. Her idea and preference to work obtained in a frustration to repay the loan. In addition to all this, whatever Srimati does, she did not get any appreciation. Srikanth, he started to gain attention in the corporate world and he moves up in his career. Meanwhile, Srimati stays at home and she is more like a secretary at home. She once again puts up her academic aspirations on hold. Srikanth is now transferred to another place. Even his mother, that is Srikanth's mother, also wanted her son to climb up higher in his career. Using this chance, she tries to taunt Srimati, referring her as barren. Amidst all this, Srimati keeps in touch with Professor Collins. Meanwhile, as Srikanth reaches the top position in management, the materialistic need in their family improves, and Srikanth he ignores to have children. At once, when Srimati gets pregnant, he asks her to abort the baby. In addition to all this, Srikanth also brings his friends to their home, where Srimati plays the role of hostess, in which she wasn't comfortable. This was the time they both were away from each other. Srimati was ill and Srikanth is not ready to listen whether Srimati is good in her health. because he had a strict determination of avoiding to know about Srimathi so that it would affect his performance. Here also, Srimathi was not acknowledged as a wife. Meantime, Professor Collins arrives in India. So his arrival brings Srimathi her life back. She takes Collins with her on a tour of North India. Sudha Murty has given good description about Fatehpur Sikri, Ujjain and Mandu. Collins, knowing the sadness in Srimathi's life, he advises her to take up a Ph.D. degree in order to give a spark of happiness in her life. Srimathi has avoided to live a elite lifestyle, though her husband provides her all materialistic things. She is not obsessed with expensive saris, jewelry, or other expensive materialistic things. She now tries to recall that what has lacked in her life at present. She revisits the love letters and the affection that was between Srikanth and Srimathi. She perceives that mutual love and intense faith should be present in a love life. From the characters of Srimathi and Srikanth, any reader could identify that Srikanth works for money and for power, but he did not look back to the unconditional support and love from his family, especially from his wife. In other way, Srikanth is also lucky to have found an intelligent and ambitious wife. Srimadhi now gives some time to Srikanth to come back to her and live a happy life. She thinks that a structure of house or a structure of building could not give or produce a place of feelings and relationship. So their house had no room for relationship. Since she could not return to Hubli from Bombay, she now takes up a decision to pursue her PhD studies with Professor Collins. Now there's a parting conversation between Srikanth and Srimathi, which is extremely touching. Srimathi now tells her that she has felt loneliness in Bombay and she could not live for artificial values, gaining materialistic success. She also confesses that she had loved him more than history, that is her first love, but she has ignored history to marry him. Now, as she lost him, she has now only has a chance to pursue her first love, that is her history. Her studies. Now she affirms that she had to create a comfortable life and so she leaves him to find a fulfillment. She also affirms that Srikanth has treated her as an ornament in a social circuit and opines that divorce is an instrument of remarriage and hence she is not interested in it. The novel ends as Srikanth looks up his domineering self. He now understands that he is the only cause for her departure. The symbolizing tree, that is Bakula tree, has now fallen down sadly as the love between them has died. So this is where the title of the novel is symbolized from. Gently falls the Bakula. Let us see a small analysis of this novel. This novel is a tale of marriage that is getting failed due to lack of time, communication, respect for spouse. Srimathi's epitome of success is not appreciated. She had given up her dreams for the sake of marrying Srikanth. At the end of the novel, Srimathi has chosen herself for life. That signified the importance of following her dream. So the end of the novel justifies the title given to the novel. Hope this video helps. If you have query, please write it down on the comment below. Thank you for listening.